Hi and welcome back to Reddit Whispers. I broke my love's heart. I've destroyed everything we've worked for: her trust, self-esteem, and hope. I'll never learn to forgive myself. This isn't a story I'm proud to tell, but I have to get it out. It's eating me from the inside, a corrosive acid dissolving everything I thought I was. I've been in a relationship with my childhood friend and crush for 3 years. 3 perfect, imperfect, beautiful years. We grew up together, our lives like two vines twisting around the same tree. There was a comfort there, a shorthand that only decades of shared memories can build. When we finally got together, it felt less like a beginning and more like a homecoming. We had our ups and downs, of course, what couple doesn't? But we were solid. Each argument, every disagreement was a problem to be solved, not a battle to be won. We were a team. We supported each other, we brought out the best in each other. I was studying to be an engineer, she was climbing the ladder in her marketing career, and we were each other's biggest cheerleaders. I genuinely loved her, and what kills me, what absolutely shreds me to pieces, is that I still do. I still love her with every broken fiber of my being. She was the one. There wasn't a single doubt in my mind. The way she'd laugh, throwing her head back, the crinkles that would form at the corners of her eyes. The way she'd bite her lip when she was concentrating on a project. The smell of her hair on the pillow next to me in the morning. She was my world, my entire universe. And because of that, there wasn't a thing I wouldn't do for her, nothing I wouldn't give. I gave her everything I had: my time, my energy, my heart. We were planning a future, a real one. We talked about everything, from the stupid little things like what kind of dog we'd get, to the big, life-altering decisions. We were meticulous about our finances, a joint savings account growing steadily, our shared goal a down payment on a small house in a couple of years. We were building a life brick by brick, a solid foundation of love, trust, and mutual respect. We even discussed the kind of realtor we'd want to work with: someone patient, someone who understood first-time buyers. It was all about minimizing the risk and maximizing our investment in our future. Our credit score was a point of pride for both of us, a testament to our discipline and shared commitment. But there was a problem, a dark, insidious secret that I kept locked away in the deepest recesses of my soul. The problem was me. It was a flaw, a sickness I hadn't even acknowledged in myself for years, and by the time I did, it was already a raging inferno, and it was far, far too late. I was addicted to porn, severely, and she never knew. That's the part that twists the knife. I'm not a perv, not in the way people imagine. I would never ever cheat on her. I wouldn't even flirt with another woman. We had both been cheated on in past relationships, long before we found our way back to each other. I know that specific brand of heartbreak, that soul-crushing betrayal. It's a pain that hollows you out, makes you question your own worth. And yet, despite knowing that, as my addiction got worse, I slowly, inexorably moved towards the abyss. It started with being sneaky. The classic addict behavior. I was like an alcoholic hiding bottles all over the house, except my poison was digital. I downloaded porn onto encrypted hard drives so I wouldn't leave a trace on her Wi-Fi network. The irony is sickening. We had total transparency. We both had access to each other's phones at all times, knew each other's passcodes. It wasn't about a lack of trust, it was about a surplus of it. We were that couple. Beyond the porn, I had absolutely nothing to hide. I texted no other girls, I didn't like other women's photos on social media. My digital life, to any outside observer, was a testament to my devotion. But in the dark, in the stolen moments when she was asleep or at work, my addiction festered. As the addiction worsened, the old material, the clips and photo, didn't suffice. My brain required more, something stronger, more potent. Then, life threw us a curveball. She got a major promotion at her job, a fantastic opportunity that I was so proud of her for. But it meant she had to relocate to a city a few hours away. Simultaneously, I was in the final, most demanding year of my engineering degree. We became a long-distance relationship. We made it work, visiting each other on weekends, constant calls and texts. I stayed loyal. I loved her, I respected her. The thought of being with anyone else was repulsive to me. But the distance, the stress of my studies, it all added fuel to the fire of my addiction. It was my secret pressure release valve. Then about 2 months ago in July, we had a difficult conversation. She called me, her voice strained. She told me she was losing, maybe not her feelings for me, but her attraction. She felt overwhelmed by the pressure of her new job, the constant demands from her family, and the physical distance between us was taking its toll. My heart plummeted. But she, ever the problem solver, proposed a solution. She suggested we both hit the gym, get back into shape together, and for us to find a rental in the mountains for a weekend getaway, just us, away from the world. This was all happening very soon after our third anniversary, an anniversary for which I had secretly bought 2 rings. I had it all planned out. In February, after I completed my degree, I was going to propose. I had the speech rehearsed in my head, the location picked out. It was going to be perfect. So when she said this, I went into overdrive. I tried to be the supportive boyfriend, and I was. I listened, I agreed, I told her we'd get through it. But after we hung up, a cold, terrifying fear gripped me. Was I not enough? Had I done something wrong? The insecurities I thought I'd conquered came roaring back to life. And naturally, as the addict I was, I turned to my vice to vent my stress, to numb the fear. That night, I fell down a rabbit hole online. And I accidentally clicked on some erotic portal. It was different, interactive. As I said, the usual videos had stopped stimulating my brain. This was new. And in that moment of fear and weakness, my God, what have I done? I started an account. It was a blur, a disassociated, out-of-body experience. I wrote to some women who, in hindsight, were most likely bots. My only coherent thought during this 3-day spiral was a constant screaming mantra in my head. What the fuck are you doing? It was a frantic, desperate act of self-sabotage. I didn't send any nudes, I didn't receive any. I never met with anyone, and honestly, I never even intended to. It wasn't about another person, it was about the chase, the novelty, the escalating risk. On the 3rd day, the full weight of my actions crashed down on me. I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. I puked out of sheer disgust with myself. The betrayal wasn't just against her. It was a betrayal of everything I stood for, every promise I'd ever made to her and to myself. I betrayed my girl. The same day, I deleted that goddamn account. I scrubbed its existence from my life. And I took the first step I should have taken years ago. I found a psychiatrist and laid it all bare. The shame was suffocating, but the relief of finally saying the words out loud was immense. He directed me to an addiction treatment program. I deleted all the porn I had downloaded, every last file, or so I thought. I started my treatment right away, a secret battle waged in the shadows of my life. I was too ashamed, too cowardly to tell her. My only thought was never again. I had to fix myself before I could ever be the man she deserved. For 3 years, her beautiful, smiling face was the wallpaper on my phone. It was the first thing I saw in the morning and the last thing I saw at night. But after that incident, looking at her photo sent waves of guilt so powerful they kept me from sleeping. Every glance was a reminder of my disgusting secret. So I changed it. I changed the wallpaper to some generic landscape, and it didn't help in the slightest. The guilt was still there, a crushing weight on my chest. Of course, she noticed. A few weeks later, during one of my visits, she picked up my phone and her face fell. She asked, her voice so small, "Did you stop loving me?" Seeing the sadness, the insecurity in her beautiful eyes, it wrecked me. It was a direct consequence of my actions, my secret creating cracks in our perfect world. But I was a coward. I couldn't bring myself to confess, to shatter her world with my ugliness. So what did I, the moron, say? I told her I just got bored with the old photos. Jesus Christ, the lie felt like poison on my tongue. I could see she didn't fully believe me, but she let it go. That night we slept together. She held me, and all I could feel was the chasm of my deceit between us. The next morning I went to take a shower. I left my phone on the nightstand. She must have gone through it. And you know what? She had every right to. My evasiveness, my sudden change in behavior, it was all a red flag. And she found it. She found the one folder of porn I had overlooked in my frantic purge. And worse, so much worse, she found the verification photo for that erotic portal. A stupid selfie you have to take holding a piece of paper with the username and date. My God, what she must have felt in that moment. What have I done to her? Her self-esteem, her trust, her sense of security in us, in me. All of it shattered in an instant. Her heart must have broken and sunk to the bottom of a cold, dark ocean. I broke her just like that, and in breaking her I broke myself. The most incredible and devastating thing is that she didn't show any signs of the turmoil raging inside her. She is so strong. As I stepped out of the shower, she was in the kitchen making me a coffee. She smiled, kissed me goodbye as I left her apartment to head back to college. She let me walk away, completely oblivious, while her entire world had just been torn apart. She went to work that day and carried that heartbreak, that betrayal, all by herself. I cannot even begin to fathom the hell she went through, sitting at her desk, going through the motions, while her mind was replaying that discovery over and over again. At 5 p.m. my phone rang. It was her. Her voice was flat, devoid of all emotion. "I know everything," she said. "We're done." That numbness, that profound disappointment in her voice was worse than any screaming or crying. It was the sound of love dying. I just sat there on my bed, the phone still pressed to my ear long after she'd hung up, and then I cried. I cried not because she broke up with me, but because of what I had done to her. The unimaginable pain I had caused the one person I was supposed to protect. That was a month ago. A long, empty month. 2 days after the call, I drove to her city. I tried to explain. I admitted to my porn addiction. I told her everything about the secret I'd been carrying. I tried to make her understand that I didn't cheat on her, not in the physical sense. I didn't even flirt. I tried to tell her that I still truly, deeply loved her, but I was trying to fix the unfixable. To her, everything that came out of my mouth was either a lie or a pathetic attempt at justification. And who could blame her? She said that I lied to her from day one by hiding the addiction. She said our entire relationship, all 3 years, was a lie. That no matter what I say, in her eyes, I cheated on her and betrayed her. And I understand her. I truly do. From her perspective, if I could lie about this for 3 years and hide that disgusting account, what else was I hiding? What other lies had I told? My words had lost all value. My integrity was gone. The foundation of our relationship, the trust we had built, was not just cracked, it was pulverized into dust. She was right to leave me, as much as it wrecks me to my very core to admit that. An addiction doesn't just cost you money, it costs you everything. All our financial planning, the investment we were making in our future, the dream of buying real estate together, it all seems like a fantasy from another life. My addiction created a debt that isn't monetary. It's a debt of pain and trust that I can never repay. My focus should have been on our shared life, on things like getting on the same health insurance plan after we married, not on feeding a secret sickness. Now my life is just about survival, getting through each day with this crushing weight on my soul. The sacrifice she made, moving for her job, trusting that we were solid, I threw it all back in her face. Now I'm about to see her for the last time in a few days. I'm supposed to go over to her apartment to give her back her things, and she'll give me mine. A sterile exchange of possessions that once symbolized our intertwined lives. And that will be the end. Me and the love of my life, my most precious girl, will be walking our separate ways. She'll walk away with a broken heart, wounded to the core, hating and despising me, cursing the day we ever got together. And I'll be left with my therapy and a degree to finish, and the soul-crushing weight of what I've done to her, to us. I would give everything I have, every cent of money I'll ever earn, for a second chance, a path to redemption, to do right by her. But the truth is, what I broke is unfixable. The wound I inflicted is unhealable. She deserves to be happy, to feel safe, loved, and comfortable. And after all of this, I know I wouldn't be able to make her feel that way, not even after 1,000 years. I hope she finds all of that. She's a beautiful, smart, honest, and good-hearted woman. Boy, do I miss her already. The ache is a physical thing, a constant presence in my chest. So please, if you're listening to this, don't keep secrets from the people you love. Talk about your problems with your partners. And if you're struggling with addiction, any addiction, fight it as soon as it starts. Don't let it fester in the dark. because not doing so can cause unimaginable harm to the ones you love and cost you everything you hold dear. I needed to vent this out. It's eating me from inside. Thank you for listening this story. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. Click like and subscribe to the Reddit Whispers for more.